All right, everybody, here we are live, episode number 5 here on Sit Down Marks. Thank you guys for being here. I'm your heel host, Dirty Bird. Thank you guys for tuning in here with me. I got Mr. Babyface Booker himself, Ziggy, who he's gone again. So, we're just going to keep rolling here. We got there he is. He's back. There he is. All right, Ziggy's back. He's like I said. Yep, we got you. Yep, Babyface Booker, Ziggy here. Third man in the ring, the other guy here, the host of the show, Mr. Rattlesnake himself from the land of the Texas Rattlesnake. Here he is, Primo Silver Fox. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you today. Also on the show, we had him last week, and he is back here again this week. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Marky Mark of all, Marcus, Marks, AJ, everybody. Thanks for being here, AJ.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely,
Excited
man.
to be here.
Yeah, we hopefully Ziggy will be jumping back in here soon. We lost him. He's going to cover AEW for us. But here we go. We're going to get started here today. We got a lot to talk about. We got tons and tons of Mania to talk about, so we're going to dive into that, and
more also than you can handle.
Yeah. We got to get a lot of wrestling in here. So this one's going to be fun to wrap the whole weekend up here. So why don't we get started first? Primo, start us off, man, with our this day in wrestling history, and if there's any wrestler birthdays today.
All right. This day in wrestling history, April 14th. Throw it back to 1989. It's a great year. Great year. Why? Because that's when yours truly was born. Jerry Lawler defeats Kerry Von Erich to win the WCWA World Heavyweight title. He did and would go on with that title and take it in his AWA title to become the unified World Heavyweight Champion. And in my second this day in wrestling history for April 14th, 1993, WCW held its first ever event in New York City, the primarily WWF territory back in the day. Main event there was Sting, who defeated Big Van Vader via DQ. Vader held the title still.
So
Vader time.
Yeah. Moving on to birthdays. Birthdays on April 14th, 1996. You see him on NXT, every week now. Leon Ruff.
Leon.
I
see him wrestle a lot and evolve before he made it up to NXT. So
he's talented for sure. Back in 1975, you got third member of Team Extreme, Lita.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. She's a big influence on me as a young teenager.
Yeah, right. As was all of us, man. Yeah. For sure.
In 1967, you got JEFF, JARR,
E-double-T.
Jeff Jarrett himself.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Jarrett,
Ziggy's back here real quick, man. I want to run over something, man. Ziggy got engaged this weekend, everybody. Ziggy got engaged.
Congrats, Ziggy.
Yeah.
Hey,
my man. My man. Yes, sir. You got engaged, man.
I think I got my internet issues good.
All right. Man, I hope so,
Welcome back.
All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man. It was a fun WrestleMania weekend. I'm happy to have Ziggy back. But today, man, we're gonna cheers. This one's to Ziggy, man, for getting engaged this weekend. I'm so proud of this guy, man. Love him to death. He's got a new beautiful lady here, man. Can't wait to meet her. He's gonna freeze right here on the toast. Look.
Yeah, I think I'm good now.
All right, good. Well, no, you are freezing. Yeah, man, absolutely, man. So cheers to you. Cheers to Rowdy. Cheers to Coastland Apparel.
Cheers.
Go check those guys out, man. www.coastlandapparel.com. They just dropped a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, I got a hat on. Ziggy's got a hat on. Primo's got a hat on. AJ's got some clothes. He's got a shirt on today. I'm rocking the Rowdy shirt today.
Rowdy.
Of Rowdy Energy.
Nice.
Thank you guys. Yeah, appreciate it. So, but yeah, go try those. Go check those guys out, man. Like I said, they just dropped a bunch of new merch, and it's going to be it's. We appreciate them sponsoring the channel here. So thank those guys so much, man. This is going to be a fun one, man. We got a lot of Mania, post-Mania to talk about. We're giving away stickers today. So anybody in the chat that don't have stickers from the show here, tune in, and we'll be giving away some of those later. Yeah, so there and there. So they're all over AJ's house.
You gotta try to do it at the same time.
I'm randomly hiding them.
Yeah, so that one's so yeah, we're gonna be giving away some of those, man. So the sound alerts are on. You guys have fun with those in the chat. We'll be chatting with you guys along here as we go. I'm super excited to get to the Mania contest here. I got a super cool trophy I'm sitting here looking at that's going to be awesome to talk about here and see who won. See who won this thing. So I think you guys are going to be we're going to talk about that too. So we'll talk about that in a little while. So man, let's get started, man. Here we go. Big weekend. So why don't we start off with Ziggy last Wednesday at AEW, right before we went off the air. That one was coming on, and then we'll hop to NXT night 1 and 2. So all right, Ziggy, crank us off, man.
All right, well, I get a report on AEW during the biggest WWE weekend of the year. It was a pretty good show, though.
Gotta get it in.
Gotta get it in. Show opened with Hangman Page versus Max Caster. Page won with the buckshot lariat. Post match, Page doing his thing.
I love that finisher, man. That buckshot lariat, man. It's awesome. Especially if he times it just right, like coming off the rope, and like he can make that thing look nasty, man. I love it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Clothesline is what it is.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this. I disagree with that. It's like Moxley's, his clothesline off the middle
clothesline.
rope. Oh, where he is off the rope.
Yeah.
Anyway, he grabs his beer, tosses to a fan, heads out. Next up, Shivani introduces the Death Triangle. Now, I'm fairly new to AEW, but is AEW just all factions? New faction every other week.
Yeah, I feel like wrestling as a whole is getting very faction heavy. Impact's getting faction heavy. AEW is getting faction heavy. WWE kind of always stands kind of where they are. New Japan's even getting big faction heavy. So, yeah, big stables everywhere right now.
All right. So, Shivani talks about them winning the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. They're going to get their shot next week. And, then my man Orange Cassidy hits. Cassidy comes out with Chris Statlander. Good to see her back.
Yeah, she's good on the eyes.
And comes out with best friends, and Cassidy they basically challenge him to a match, and Pac kind of I'm off here. Pac. Where am I at here? Okay. Pac says that they wanted a shot at the next AEW Tag Team Champions. He tells them they got a lot of work to do. Trent just want to let them know that the boys are back in town. Next up, we get the shot of Tyson talking with the Jags coach, Urban Meyer. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
when I bit his ear off was,
right.
Holyfield, he came in. I love Mike. Man. Love Mike Tyson.
Next up was my favorite segment when the inner circle comes out. Jericho gets on the mic and says talks about how they got a wake up call and he's not the smartest guy and at everything, but he's definitely smart with pro wrestling. He kept referring to MJF as my jerk off friend.
Yeah. Hey, time out, Ziggy. Time out, man. The people want to see your signs behind you. They want to see your signs. Hornswoggle is Dirty's mini-me.
That Especially when he's wearing those Boston Celtics. He's got that green on. He's just
yeah.
his dad.
And what does the other one say?
Roman Mark.
Roman
Mark. Chris is that guy sitting at the table with the cup of tea that says Roman is the greatest wrestler of all time. Change my mind. He's that guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. I'll make that meme.
All right.
So, we get out to Jericho. He's just great on the mic. Just when he referred to MJF as my jerk off friend, had me rolling.
How good, man! This was kind of a legendary promo here.
Yeah,
man.
it was like Chris Jericho back in true form.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
This was amazing, man. This was amazing. He kind of went through everything. I don't know how he puts all this info in his head. Jeez, it's great.
Talking about the swirly from last week.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the swirly chant. And
swirly chant, yeah.
He called MJF a Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And says maybe that phrase should be called a Max.
Thanks for shout out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're right. Jericho ran down everybody. Called Tully third string 4 horsemen. This crap really got.
Don't you say nothing about Tully, Chris. It's my guy, man. He's untouchable.
This really cracked me up because I feel the same way about FTR and how I can't tell which one's which. Just ran down the whole team. It was a great segment, great promo.
Yeah, fantastic.
Setting up their match at Blood and.
Yeah, and they're gonna pick this apart for a while.
Great promo.
They're gonna pick this apart for a while. It's gonna be like 1-on-1, because they're already next week doing Jericho versus Dax, I think, which will be tonight. So they'll pick this thing apart and then probably blow it off real big, like a cage match. Where something crazy. But this one's gonna stick for. This one will probably go for a couple months, I bet.
Which I would be okay with.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's great, right?
So is Jericho the greatest promo of all time?
Man, like
he's up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The Rock.
Yeah,
Jake the Snake, in my opinion, for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, he had the Jake had the psychology. And
he did. He never shouted. He was very quiet.
Right.
I know. Yeah.
He had that he talked like he was like gonna kill you.
Yeah. It was very methodical. Yeah. So.
Ziggie's had enough of us again.
He got his AEW list in. He's gone.
Yep. Out.
Yeah, I think so. So hopefully, hey Echo, tell Mary I said hi. Appreciate it. So let's give Ziggy here a second to hop in, or maybe we should just move on. So why don't we just move on, man? Let's hop into Primo here. Let's talk about briefly NXT Night 1 here. Let's go.
Night 1. Takeover, Stand, and Deliver. I was super excited about Night 1 and 2 here. Yeah. Night 1, Nita Strauss opens up with that electric guitar national anthem. Awesome. It was cool. First match of the night, we got Pete Dunne defeating Kushida.
And one that we all cared about so much.
Yeah, exactly. That we just, we remembered it the most, I know,
right. Yeah.
Next up, we had that gauntlet match to determine who would go on the following night to face Johnny Gargano. And it was basically how it ended was LA Knight eliminated Loomis. And then LA Knight defeated Loomis, and then...
Which I was a little shocked by.
As was I.
And then he gets eliminated by Bronson Reed.
Yep.
So,
Le Champion.
But then you get out there in the outside the ring there. You had Dexter Loomis throw on his submission on LA Knight before they finish that off. So that could be a potential thing in the future.
Yep.
So Bronson Reed wins the gauntlet match to advance to the match with Johnny Gargano, and then that'd carry on to the next night. After that, we had my favorite match of night one, which is Walter taking on Tommaso Ciampa.
That was a good
That was quite the fight.
Walter sold, like, he had me, man. I'm like, oh,
he slammed that.
Oh, yeah. And he kept going back to, like, you know, like holding, like, you know, I'm like,
and whenever, like, the ref grabbed his hand, he was like, you know, or like whenever he pinned him, he went to go pin him, and he was like, ah.
Yeah.
He sold.
Yeah. What a great
that was
seller.
a great match.
Yeah, it was.
And so Walter ended up going over and kept his UK title belt. This match, so happy for my guys. As I told you, Dirty, I know Wesley personally. We served together.
Yep.
MSK wins the NXT Tag Team Championships against GYV and Phantasma.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for those guys. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, really cool. Really, really cool.
And
our cool match too.
Yeah, it really was. Spot fest.
I'm getting kind of let's see, what's the best way to put this? Not really in comparison, but getting a little bit of like Rockers vibes from them, like the young kind of like, you know what I mean, like the Hardys, you know, like the young
come out, they're exciting,
they're flippy, they're they got like music that you like, and yeah.
In the main event of that night, we had Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's Championship against Raquel Gonzalez. In which case, Raquel Gonzalez wins, and we have a new Women's NXT Champion. And that's the end. That's how we ended night one of Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I love night one. I thought it was awesome. I like to see Raquel win. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She celebrated very awkwardly after. Yeah, it was almost like she didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? It was like, do I jump? Do I like act mean? Do I say happy?
So do I stay at heel? And I need
yeah. It was.
She's like, I'm legitimately excited though.
Yeah. It was just weird, man. Yeah.
She's like,
yeah. And then she was like, "This is my NXT." So, yeah, awesome. So, yeah, right. Yeah. So we'll see what we go with her, man. I'm always a fan of a giant, of being, a champion, because that really makes for an awesome chase by the baby face. So, I hope they leave it on her for a little while, let her dominate, and just keep working, on that. So, I mean, she's still pretty green, it kind of feels like to me in some areas, but she's definitely got respect now. So, all right, man. Night number 2, Primo.
Night number 2. Another exciting night. They open up with actually the match I was most excited for overall for TakeOver, which was Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin in that ladder match.
Love this match, man.
I did
total ownership of that Cruiserweight Championship. And we had Santos Escobar winning, and he is the Cruiserweight Champion.
This one delivered, man. This one really delivered. And how about that spot of Devlin took at the end on the back fall on the ladder?
Oh, yeah. Where it broke?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's going to hurt.
That's where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great match, man.
I look at my wife and I say, and they say this is fake. Come on.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Santos goes over. He wins the Cruiserweight Championship. Next up, we have the NXT Women's Champions defending their titles, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, against The Way. And Shotzi and Ember go over there. They retain their titles. I kind of figured that's what would happen.
Nervous. Like every time, like she's very
that dive out of the ring.
Yeah, every time she dives, I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
I know, man.
She looked like she broke her neck when she went out of the ring. Yeah, like straight up.
You draw up,
she
man.
Was fine. It's like
we all felt right after Daniel Bryan came back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like every bump he took, we all took with him.
I was
We're
like, easy.
Watch your
Yeah.
head. Watch
your neck,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
neck. Yeah.
Third match of the night, we had, like I said, about night one, Bronson Reed moved on to face Johnny Gargano. That was match number 3, where Johnny Gargano was able to overcome Bronson Reed with a little help from Austin Theory, distraction, to retain that North American Championship.
I like Austin Theory, man. Let me talk about him for a second. I've seen him wrestle on the Indies for a while. He's from right outside Atlanta. He trained with I can't think of his name right now, dude. He's been on the circuit for a while, or indie circuit. But last time I seen him wrestle was he was the Evolve champion. He wrestled Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, whatever you want to call him, and it was like awesome match. But dude's got the look, man. He's got the body. He can wrestle. I think he's just got to work on those promo skills, man. But
right now he's
not the greatest.
Right
at the moment.
He's playing the dummy right now in the way.
Yeah, he is. And they'll probably do something on down the line where he gets tired of that and turns on Johnny. So yeah.
Moving on, we had our NXT Championship match between Karrion Kross and Finn Balor.
My match of the night, which I love.
Yeah, great match. We had Karrion Kross defeating Finn Balor to become the new NXT champion.
That was one of the ones that when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is who should win. Not who I picked, but
Yep. You were the only one that picked Balor in that match, by the way.
Well, if I wasn't such a stupid Balor mark, I would have picked Karrion Kross. But
yeah.
See, I picked Karrion Kross, but my wife is laughing at me because during Finn's entrance, I'm always going. Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely a fan. So our final match of the night, which is that unsanctioned match.
You guys looking at the baseboards now?
I was about to say,
Jet Dryer said your carpet blends perfect to AJ's wall. His baseboard blend perfect with your wall.
Because they're right beside each other.
They are. It looks like swamps.
So stupid,
man. God. That's so great. I probably wouldn't even notice that. Yeah, I did that perfectly by accident. So, yeah.
Yep.
But, that's probably going to end here shortly because I don't know if Ziggy's coming baback, so I'm going to make her cameras bigger. But, all right. So, anyway.
So we finish off the night with that unsanctioned match between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. It was killer match. I mean,
yeah, what'd they go about 45 minutes, man? At least.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. I think it was around 45 minutes actually. And it was. They threw everything at each other. That chain was the start of the match. They everything. I mean, they hit everything. Everybody they hit each other with everything they could.
Yeah.
I will say I did laugh every time that Kyle O'Reilly tried to wrap the chain around his leg. I was like, it's just not working.
It kept dropping. Yeah. And then he was finally like, all right, I'll just do it anyway, So
yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking the chain's long enough, just wrap it and hold it.
He's like, like the first time he did it, it kept sliding off. Then I feel at some point he was like, all right, I'm taking up too much time.
I feel like that spot probably worked really well in rehearsal. And they were just so adamant to get it in there. It's like, just abandon the spot at that point.
Yeah.
So to end it, we had Kyle O'Reilly defeating Adam Cole.
Yep.
That surprised me a bit, but I'm okay with that. I like the match too much.
It surprised me as well. And that was the end of TakeOver Night 2.
Yep. Let's see. I was the only one that took O'Reilly in that one. The rest of you guys took Adam Cole. But I was just kind of figuring that was probably going to be his coming out party. So yeah, man. What do you guys think about that, man? Both nights were good.
NXT was hot. I love it.
It was.
Both.
I was a bit underwhelmed just because the NXT's like any takeover show is on they're classic shows. Like each season they have one.
Yeah.
This show was great. Like, don't get me wrong. it was fantastic, but I don't know. Maybe my expectations are just too high for NXT.
Plus, too, let's think about this. Maybe, let's say all that had been one show. We would have been like, mind blown, everything. You know what I mean? But 2 nights broken down, seems a little more, drawn out. So that could have, seemed that way. So, all right. So, go ahead.
I think like a 4-hour NXT, like in one shot, is a good amount. But like Mania needs to be broken up, like from here on out, like because an 8-hour Mania, like you lose half the momentum then.
Yeah.
You might have, but see, NXT I think could all fit in one night. Like you said, I think it would have been, the effect wouldn't have been dampened as much if it was all one night.
Yeah. So awesome Wednesday night, Thursday night there. So to do nights 1 and 2. So that was absolutely. I was entertained. I thought both of them were very good.
I loved it. Like I said, and still between both of those, I think Walter and Ciampa was probably my favorite of all the matches. It ended up being my favorite. Like I said, I was looking forward the most to Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. They definitely delivered, but that slugfest between Walter and Ciampa was crazy.
It was rough.
Yeah.
So that was pretty nuts. So, all right. So that was AEW. So now let's move to Impact, and I'm going to talk about the indies here real quickly. So the Impact Wrestling was their first night on Thursday. So they moved to Thursday night for the first time, still on Access TV. I guess me and Primo talked about it. I guess they got word of NXT moving to Tuesday, right. So they flipped to Thursday. So wrestling every night of the week now, but I like it because, everybody's spaced out and, everybody has their own night finally. I don't think anybody's on the same night as each other. Main shows anyway. Yeah. So we were talking about, so Monday Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday AEW, Thursday Impact, Friday SmackDown, Saturday could be Ring of Honor, basically, if you want to say, and in Indies, and then Sunday is probably pay-per-view. So, yeah. All right, so the show starts off. They're talking about, they're advertising. This was last Thursday. They're advertising Hardcore Justice for Saturday on Impact Plus, which is their streaming network. And I guess they're putting a little card together for Mania weekend. Not much happened, but I'll run over what happens on it. But this particular show starts off. The highlights were Zack Ryder. Woo, woo, woo.
Zack Ryder.
You know it.
Changed his persona. He's Matt Cardona, but now he is always ready. Matt Cardona. That's his moniker now. Yes, he's always ready. So he wrestles Jake something. Brian Myers comes out and attacks Cardona and decides that they will. He just changed his mind. They will fight at Rebellion after previously saying that they wouldn't. So kind of kicks that one off, and then Triple XL comes out. AC Baby and Larry D comes out to wrestle Sami Callihan and Trey Miguel. It was a pretty good match. Trey wins, and there's a little spat going on between him and Sami, so he wins in the match. Sami tries to shake his hand. He slaps his hand, runs away, so they continue their little spat. Next up is Chris Sabin. He comes out with James Storm. And he beats Cody Deaner, and then Eric Young shows up with his faction, Violent by Design, and they start choking out Chris Harris, who's still there from last week when he was at James Storm's 1000th match. So anyway, so they jump up on, beat all these guys up, so there's kind of a new feud starting there. And then they go back to hyping up Tommy Dreamer's team versus Eric Young's team is going to be the main match of Hardcore Justice on Saturday. But and then they talk about the main event for Hardcore Justice is going to be Diana Perazzo, who is the champ, versus Jazz. And this is going to be a title versus career match. Jazz loses, she retires. If Diana Perazzo loses, Jazz wins the belt. So they're kind of talking about that, hyping that up, and then they move to the main event, which is Willie Mack Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann versus the Good Brothers, and wrestling on Impact for the first time, Kenny Omega.
Wow.
So he's wrestling for the first time. They do this big entry for him. Don Callis comes out. He's like, the greatest wrestling god on the planet. So they hype him up. He comes out, does his thing, and
I thought that was really Don Callis a second ago.
Yeah. So he comes out, does his thing. Omega and Swann, they're scheduled to wrestle each other at Rebellion coming up April 25th. They have a couple little stare off, times. They don't touch, maybe briefly if they do, that I remember. But anyway, the match ends up coming off. Rich Swann pins Carl Anderson for the win, and then the Good Brothers and Omega and Callis kind of, they retreat. Omega saying, tonight was only a warm-up to what's going to happen to you kind of deal. You better be glad I didn't get my hands on you, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, and then the show goes off where they're talking about Hardcore Justice, which was last Saturday on, like I said, on Impact Plus. Just a couple of quick little notes. Nothing really happened. They did have a number one contenders match in the women's division. They call them the Knockouts. Jordan Grace, she hit a Vader bomb on Jessica Havoc. And then Caleb Conley pulled out Jordan Grace and Tennille Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma. Is that right? Wasn't that her name in WWE, I think? Emma?
Yeah. Emma or Emelina for 8 seconds.
Yeah. So she gets the win. So she's the number one contenders now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think about who you were talking about.
Yeah. Violent by Design beats Tommy Dreamer's team, so the heels go over there. And then the main event is Jazz versus Diana Perazzo. Not much happened. Diana basically dominated this match, and she beat Jazz clean. Domination clean. Chip, done. Jazz waves goodbye, and allegedly she's retired, and she did not. And we'll see if she shows up next week. So
from Texas.
Basically, she's a Texas girl. Yep, she is. So basically, that was the rundown of it. A couple small little notes. Ring of Honor, they're doing their 500th episode next week. I'm thinking they mean on their Ring of Honor show on TV. Yeah. The one on regular cable. So I think that's probably the one they're probably talking about. So they got a couple matches. They're going to do the Briscoe brothers against each other, and they're doing Lethal and Gresham against each other too. So 2 tag teams against each other. But so that's it for Impact, Ring of Honor, the Indies. They did probably 5,000 matches last week. For WrestleMania week. I didn't see any big title changes or anything, it was kind of just a show. They was calling it the showcase of the independents, where there's just a lot of matches where everybody was just getting to work, since they didn't get to work last year. So
featuring Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah. So he got his in for sure.
I can't stand Tommy Dreamer.
Why, man? He's a legend.
Well, I can't remember. I've never been able to take Tommy Dreamer seriously. 1, because he wrestles in a T-shirt. 2, because his name is Tommy Dreamer. Get a more generic babyface name. And 3, I can't remember if it was one of ECW's, maybe Heatwave 98 or Barely Legal, one of those where I can't remember. Someone attacks Beulah McGillicuddy. And they have a slow.
Who ended up being his wedding or being his wife, I think. Beulah did. Yeah.
But they have a slow motion reaction from Tommy Dreamer where he just sounds like a bruised whale. They slow down his reaction. He screams, so it's so that's what I think of. That's Tommy Dreamer.
God!
A beluga whale wearing a T-shirt while he wrestles. That's my take on Tommy Dreamer right there. You're welcome.
That's
fair
great.
Enough. Fair enough.
Ridiculous.
Fair enough.
Not a hardcore legend at all.
No.
Just a beluga whale in a T-shirt.
In a T-shirt, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm done now.
All right, still rolling here. Primo, go home SmackDown, man. What happened there, real quick?
Go home SmackDown. It was WrestleMania edition SmackDown, and I want to say it was really just a SmackDown full of promos, but we'll get to that. Show opener. Daniel Bryan comes out and talks about the main event of WrestleMania. Talks about what led up to this, how he got into the match, what he's gonna do, how he's gonna make everybody tap out. He also talks about how excited he was for the live in-person audience. Next up, we had the first match of the night, one of the only matches. Where Ziggler and Rude won the Fatal 4-Way to retain their tag team championships. So, and I saw that happening. They just didn't give any kind of nothing to the tag team championship. Like that should have been on WrestleMania.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah, and I went ahead and counted that one on our picks because that one should have been. I knew it was going to come down to to those two, for those two tag teams, anyways. So
yeah.
So
Ziggler and Rude go over. They keep the titles. Now I will say this particular promo I popped for, which was because you could feel that emotion, which was Biggie's hometown promo. It was pretty cool. I thought it. I
like that. I like that too.
He talks about being state champion there. He talks about wrestling there. Talks about where he played. He's been in Raymond James Stadium so it's like, it's cool, man. I
like that stuff too.
Yeah, and so after that we had Tamina defeating Nia Jax, but it was via DQ because Shayna interfered. So. That was one. See, they could have taken out. No, okay, I'll keep my mouth shut. But
there's nothing too. Let me link something real quick. Tommy Dreamer went on Twitter. Speaking of Tommy, he said that Tamina is WWE's newest over babyface, and
he would say that,
and that they should realize that she was over. Or something like that.
Are you sure he didn't say?
He said, yeah. That's what you heard. That's what you heard.
That's all I hear when you talk. Yes, Tommy Dreamer.
You'll get a kendo stick across your face.
Yeah, that's true. So that was the end of that match. After that, another promo. We get it from Edge sitting in the chair in the middle of the ring. Of course, we talked about 10 years to the day is going to be WrestleMania from when he retired. He was forced to retire, and basically how he's going to go over at the main event of WrestleMania. Moving on, we had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale.
Right, nobody knew who was in. They didn't really throw out a list. We probably could throw a list of names together, but Primo picked the winner just off the top of his head. Yeah, he had that on the list. Ended up throwing it out because I was kind of like, well, I don't know who's in it. I was always think the big guys, but yeah. But sorry, go ahead, Primo. I wanted to give you props for picking that winner just out of nowhere.
Thank you. Thank you. If I win anything, I won that. So yeah, Jey Uso wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Immediately after that, we get Roman Reigns comes out and basically says that you're in his family. He's like, look what I did for you. Look what I did for you. Look what you just got. You got some gold over there, right? That's your association with this guy. So, like, Jey Uso wasn't just out there doing that by himself.
Right.
So, anyway, he gives the promo, talks about, the head of the table, does the whole gimmick, and says how he's going to go over in the triple threat at Mania. And that's how we end the Go Home SmackDown.
Yeah.
Basically, like, they replaced the WrestleMania pre-show with the Go Home SmackDown.
Yeah, it was full of promos. Yeah.
And then we run into Mania, weather hits, and then we're doing promos again.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Horse promos. You could tell how like impromptu they were.
Yeah, face to face
Yes.
too. Like go out there like Drew and Bobby. Yeah, like
that one was like you could tell that wasn't planned. So they were like,
right.
They had no idea.
Yeah. Is this your brother here, Silver Lion?
No, that's not my brother. That's a buddy of mine though. From yeah.
All right.
So Silver Lion, gotcha.
Yeah, the Lion and the Fox.
Yeah.
All right, so let's run over Mania then, man. Quick first thoughts, guys, about Mania. Primo.
I will say that after they finally got over the rain delay, which by itself is historical. However, after that, even though I was laughing at the narrator introduction, once they got because that was kind of funny. Yeah. Like, so after that, we got to where they got serious and started talking about the fans, and I just felt that my goosebumps just started coming in, and then you see they go live, and Vince and the entire roster's on the stage, and he does the whole thing, and the crowd's welcome to Wrestle. I mean, I love the body.
Me too. Yeah, it was great, man.
It was just great.
To me now, when Vince out there, it just feels important. Like you know what I mean. You know, like something's happening. Hang on, just turn myself.
He doesn't do stuff anymore.
Yeah. So when he's out there, man, it's like, the adrenaline just starts to roll.
Everybody's like, everybody shut up, Dad. Here. Yeah. You listen when you listen.
Yep. So what'd you think overall of Mania? Love it?
Overall, I did enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that it was 2 nights of it. You know, that was really cool. I liked that how we talked about Lashley and Bobby opening, Sasha and Belair closing with night 1. I liked the main event for night 2. I liked the way they spread out the matches per each night, so they were. Yeah. It was a balance of, spot fest and decent matches.
Sure.
I enjoyed it overall. Yeah.
AJ,
like we said before, this was the best Mania this year. It was, first of all, the rain. Like right when the rain hit, so this is how stupid I am. Like right when it hit, I was like, WrestleMania, and then I was like, I'm gonna see myself out. I was by myself watching it, and I'm like, I'm glad no one was around for that. Anyways, so it was fine. There were the matches that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed.
Yep.
But I
was disappointed at times. We'll get into that, but
there were some baffling decisions where I was like, I don't understand what's happening here. Not a whole. It seemed like there were a lot of like distraction finishes and not clean finishes.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes that can come
overall
too.
I know, and but overall, I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable. It was great to have live wrestling again. Two nights was fantastic. The good things were fantastic.
I think a lot of it had to do with the fans.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice to hear organic crowd reactions.
I probably would have listened to somebody sit out there and talk for a little bit, just because the fans,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that hair whip. Holy cow! Yeah, so I loved it too, man. I have my reserves about a few things, but I think I liked night 1 better. But I love. Yeah, I love the excitement. When it came on and Vince is there, I'm pumped. You can hear the crowd in the background, and it was just it was exciting to have fans back. I loved both nights. Like I said, I loved night 1 probably the best. But yeah, so let's run over it here. No particular order. We won't go over NXT because Primo just did that. So we'll let's talk about in no particular order here, just the matches. I'm going to talk about this one first. So, probably the whole biggest disappointment about me was the whole weekend is, man, and I don't usually cuss, but damn, man, Drew deserved that, man. That broke my heart, man. Like I felt like he deserved it, dude. Like I thought this was his. They were going to just run it back from last year. They could have put the belt back on Bobby later. Even on Monday. I don't care, but anyway. But like that was my biggest disappointment of the weekend. I was kind of like the guy's face when Brock pinned the Undertaker. Yeah, I was like, it's like what? I'm like, yeah. So I was disappointed. I just thought that babyface Drew should have had that, especially watching next, Roman go over the night before. So I'm like, man, we're going to go 2 heels, and I'm a heel guy, but I wanted to see Drew get his, and they probably have plans for him later on, but I mean, none of them are bigger than WrestleMania. So I was disappointed by that, man. What about you guys?
Well, I think that either way, he still got what was owed to him because he was the first wrestler that came out, and the reaction that he got was everything.
Yeah.
Everything from it was like he was just back to form, because as soon as he came out, even as little as sticking the sword in, he held the 3 fingers up, had the crowd in the palm of his hands, and did 3, 2, 1. The whole crowd did it with him. Yeah. So, and he was interacting with the crowd the entire match. So I think that I wanted him to win, but yeah, hopefully they have something going on afterwards.
So I'm on both sides of this because one, I wanted Drew to get that win because Dirty Bird, like you said, that babyface win to kick off live wrestling again. And he didn't, but it was a good match. Like I enjoyed the match, and in the same breath, I don't mind that these two are going to be feuding if they're going to continue to feud for a while. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with watching them do 2 more matches or have Drew go over at the WrestleMania Backlash, which is a baffling rebranding to me. But
exactly, yeah.
I feel like that was the first time that I was confused about the booking decisions this weekend. It would not be the last time.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, our headliner for night number 1, Sasha and Bianca. Love this match. Absolute banger. These girls went at it. I wish they would have got longer. I wanted it to keep going. They really had me wavering back and forth. I mean, we all were thinking Bianca. I mean, we all took Bianca, and we coming out party. But after watching Drew lose, I'm kind of like, they might Sasha. But yeah, I mean, that was awesome, man. What about you guys?
Yeah, I agree. I loved it too. Like we said, we all picked Bianca. We all said, she's the future. So it's a big match for her to win.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the hair whip heard around the world.
She hit her with that, and I don't know what they actually used, but it's it was loud.
That's what cut Sasha on the side, right?
Yeah, that was the mark. Yeah, it came up fast too because my wife was watching it with me, and she was like, "Holy cow!" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "There wasn't nothing worked about that." I was like, "There's going to be a welt here shortly," and it came up.
Yeah, I like Bianca, but my wife calls her what's she call her? One eyelash girl, because every time she wrestles, one of her fake eyelashes fall out.
Yeah, she's always pulling it off at the end of the match.
And then in this match in particular, she had EST in her braid, and the ES I think fell out at one point.
Oh, did
it's like stuff's always falling off of her.
It just has a T in her braid.
We don't talk about stuff falling off with Mandy Rose, but
anyway. You're right, Silverline. Yeah, that might have been the match of the weekend, Silverline, for sure. Yeah, that mark on Sasha, that was incredible. So, yeah, man, just top-notch women's match right there.
For sure. It deserved to be in the main event, for sure.
Yep,
yes, it did.
All right, just run through the next one kind of quickly. Bad Bunny, Miz, but, Go ahead, AJ.
We were all expecting that, Bad Bunny to be an absolute joke. First of all, I hated the Miz's entrance. so much with those stupid bunnies that were hopping down to the ring, and I found myself like kind of like dancing to the music a little bit. Then I caught myself and I'm like, "Don't do that."
I thought Adam Rose was coming back for a second.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I thought.
Hey.
Bad Bunny he wasn't the worst.
He laid it on the line, man. You got to give it to him. They did more than we thought he was going to do. Right, Primo?
Yes. Yeah.
There was one spot that I absolutely loved. It's like, I can't believe it was in this match, but like Bad Bunny gave Miz a headbutt and then Bad Bunny sold it. Like, I thought that was great. Like, he gave him a headbutt and then Bad Bunny was like, I was like, that's fantastic. You're selling your own headbutt. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I was dogging this match for weeks.
Yep.
I really was. That is every week. It was my thumbs down.
No, I'm not going to say I didn't go to the bathroom or get something to eat while this was on. So,
I know.
Look, I'm going to be honest. It surprised me, and I actually liked it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah, Bunny did way more than we thought he was going to.
You could tell he put the work in.
Yeah, he didn't want to just go out there
I like
and show
that.
up. Yeah,
The Bunny Destroyer, the crossbody off the top turnbuckle.
Bunny Destroyer. Canadian Destroyer, yeah.
I mean, you could tell everybody that was John Morrison. So
yeah. That was pretty wild. So next up, man, Cesaro Rollins. What about that, Primo? I thought it was a solid match.
I was about to say you can compare that as far as the like a solid match, comparing it to like how I liked the Walter and Ciampa match. It was just a solid match overall from beginning to end. He did 23 swings. I forgot how much we all said he would do.
I said 27.
I said 50. I thought it was going to be an astronomical number.
Crazy number.
Yeah.
104 swings.
Be 50 swings, or I thought maybe he would go 37 because of WrestleMania 37. You know,
Jet. There was 20. There was 23 spins, but also he also did the spin on his back.
Oh yeah, with no arms.
Yeah.
And then he puts him on the side, and he's like.
I thought that was cool.
Shout out to Rowdy Energy, by the way.
This was my match of the weekend. I loved this match so much. I mean, it was like both guys. Like Cesaro's deserved a WrestleMania moment for his entire career, basically.
Yeah,
and there were a lot of cool spots, like when Rollins went for the curb stomp and Cesaro kind of propped him up and then hit the European uppercut. I was like, that's just a cool spot.
Yeah.
And the corkscrew frog splash I thought was really cool.
That was awesome.
Yep.
But I mean, I've been such a Cesaro fan for a long time. Like it's like Finn Balor and Cesaro are like the people I mark out for the most. So I love this match. I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. Cesaro's right there on the cusp, man. They need to strap the IC title on him for a little while, man, and give him a run, dude. Give him a run. Let's see what happens. He's been right there a few times. So, all right, next up, New Day and AJ, new champs. AJ won. I was surprised by this one. It was kind of dominating. You know, they wanted to make Almost look good, that's for sure.
I don't like how they did my guys the New Day there.
No.
I understand why they did it, but yeah, he just squashed them, and it's the New Day, the 11-time tag champs.
Yeah, squash the New Day. Like, put the belts on someone else, and then let Zeus Jr. squash.
Put them on freaking Braun and that 6-year-old.
Yeah. Well, you know,
squash the 6-year-old. Like,
if they were trying to get heat on AJ and Almost, I think they did that. So
yes.
All right, next up, let's talk Shayna and Braun. What do you think about it?
Better than it had any right to be.
I will say I popped for when I knew at one point, we all knew Shane was going to fall off something. Mm-hmm. So when he fell off the cage, we saw that coming. But what I didn't see coming, and I told my wife, this is the first time I can remember, I've seen people go through the cage. I've seen people go over the cage. I've seen people go through the door. I've never seen somebody be pulled back through the cage.
Back through the cage.
Yeah. When he rolled it around, he's like, this is for all the people, it's been called, you know, that they were stupid. And,
he just rips off the caging and just pulls him through it. Like, you've seen, I think Mark Henry went through the Hell in a Cell. I've seen these guys rip off the Hell in a Cell door, but I've never seen anybody just rip off the chain link like that.
Yeah.
And then pull him back through.
Yeah.
Also, Shane McMahon is a sweaty human.
Yeah.
He does.
That's mainly what I took away from that match. He's a sweaty guy.
Yeah, he does. He does sweat a lot. Yeah, you're right, Silverline. That is power, man, right there. That's crazy. All right, so we'll see where that one goes. So let's head to night number 2. The big dog stood tall at the end. I was surprised. I thought it was Edge the whole time. I never thought it would be DB. But they took this opportunity, I think, to make their champions, Lashley and Roman, bigger. Outlasting the competition. They invested in their heels this weekend with the champs.
Yes.
So Roman took it. Ziggy was the only one that took Roman here. Oh, I'm sorry, no, AJ took Roman as well.
Yeah, I took Roman.
So yeah, me and Primo both went Edge. So what do you guys think about that, real quick?
I don't like that he pinned both of them. Like that kind of bothered me. But I mean, if you're going to be a dominant heel champ, that's the thing to do.
Yeah.
I thought the match was pretty good. I liked it when they both tried to submit Roman at the same time, when Edge and Daniel Bryan both had him in the, like when Daniel Bryan had him in the last yes lock and Edge had him in the whatever Edge had him in.
Yeah. Crossface.
I like the match. Yeah. Crossface.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good, man. I popped for the entrances. Those were all good. It was fun to see Daniel do the yes in front of the fans again. Edge's entrance is probably in my top 5 of all time. I love that, man. So, yeah, that was how it finished up. But running through the meat of the card, Asuka Rhea, it was a decent match. I think they wanted to make Rhea look good. I kind of felt like the match was just starting to get hot when all of a sudden it was over. It was like it caught her. So, what about you guys on that one?
Yeah, it was a match.
It was a match.
All right.
I thought they both looked really good. Rhea looked good. Asuka is always going to be Asuka. So.
I'll say of the 2 women's matches, I definitely enjoyed Sasha and Bianca way more.
Much.
Oh yeah,
much more. Yeah,
definitely.
And I think after coming off that, I was just like,
it's not going to get topped like that.
That was the measuring stick for the weekend. That match.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Next was RKO and Fiend, which led off night number 2. Just weird, man. Like, I don't know. I wish they would have just kind of stuck to wrestling. Maybe, I loved in the beginning the pop of the Fiend turning back into the old
transforming,
Fiend. Yeah. And, I'm myself, because I'm an original OG Bray Wyatt mark from the Wyatt family. I'm wanting that transition back into that guy. I know we can't have Luke back because he's no longer with us, but we could get Eric Rowan and somebody else. Man, I don't know, man.
Did you see that he did a tribute to Luke Harper during the match?
Luke Harper, yeah.
Yep.
I do have something to say about that. Not that part, but him transforming. While I thought it was cool, and I do like his Fiend get up, why ever show us the burned outfit then?
Yeah, I think to try to enhance the supernatural.
Well, because
he's,
they never completely showed it. Like
right. They really didn't.
They acted like it was going to be an unveiling type deal, and it never was.
Yeah.
Normally, I love these like nonsense gimmick matches. Like, I think that they're amazing. Like the House of Horrors match with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Just absolute nonsense, but I loved it because Bray Wyatt has throw pillows in his house. Like that kind of match cracks me up normally, and this I hated.
I remember I tweeted it out actually as I was watching it. Bray Wyatt's or the Fiend's music gets me pop. I pop for that every time. It is so cool. It is awesome.
Yeah,
when he was rising out of the box, I was just like, "This is awesome."
I know. Even my daughter, who don't even hardly watch wrestling, she's like, "Oh, that's a big Jack in the Box." And I'm like, "Yeah." watch the feed's about to come out of there. He's, the music is hitting. He's coming up. I'm like, goosebumps. Like, oh, this is cool, man. Like, I love that, man. Me and Survivor Series last year or year before last, me and Ziggy were in Chicago, and he wrestled Daniel Bryan that night, and our seats were like right next to the stage, so it was awesome, man. Like, it's a really cool entrance. So, so next up, Big E and Apollo. Short-lived IC reign for Apollo. Primo, you're the only one that got this right, man. Why'd you take Apollo? Just felt like it was time to put a belt on him?
No. I picked it because I thought that's what the company would do. That's not what I wanted to happen. I wanted Big E because as I told you a couple weeks ago, he's my favorite champion at the time. And I was a big supporter of him being the champion. I wanted him to have a good run. But, it just enhances their feud. And I knew that if he squashed Apollo, that they would just end that, unless he squashed him in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
So with
it's a
Apollo,
very new feud.
Yeah, when they since he won, and then he brought in that guy who I don't even know who that guy is.
The general looking guy.
Yeah. So originally he was in Evolve. Baba Tunde was his name. I think they shortened it to Baba briefly, but he was on Evolve for a while. They was about to bring him up. He had a few little small NXT appearances, and then the last time we seen him before now was on Raw Underground. He was one of the guys fighting in the pit down there.
I do. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he was one of the guys fighting in the pit down there. I think he even might have fought Braun or Dolph, one of those guys. And so you thought maybe he was going to get brought up. So it looks like they're bringing him as kind of maybe a Nigerian soldier with him. But this guy, man, Babatunde, he's good, man. He's he's got the build and the size. He's a very power type wrestler. And if my memory serves me correctly, you guys are probably going to laugh, but I think the last time I seen him wrestle in Evolve was a show in Indianapolis. He wrestled Leon Ruff, and Bob broke him in half 15 times during the match. So, wow. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to call him this time, but Babatunde is what his name was before. So anyway, real quick, Primo, have we found out yet what MSK means? I just thought of that. No.
Hey, I almost Googled it today.
Text your boy and just ask him so we can stop this.
Just ask him?
Yeah, just ask him. Like, I just want to know to get it over.
He'll be like, go figure it out.
I don't want to Google it. I want to know. All right. What did you say, AJ?
So I have a question or two questions about this match. What is a Nigerian drum match? And is it racist? Like, was this match racist? I was watching it, I'm like, is this match racist?
Well, I'm going to err on the side of not knowing, because a Nigerian drum match to me is whatever they showed, because I haven't seen anything prior to that.
No, I'm so confused. Do they have to beat the drums to win? Like, what's happening? Were they just around the ring? Like, I was a little moment to me.
Yeah, I was a little tuned out on this match because I don't know. I just there wasn't enough beef in the feud. It's kind of like just started. I kind of thought this would be maybe a smudge finish, but I don't know. Was what it was, I guess. All right, so next up, man, my favorite match of night 2. Man, this was a banger, man. I loved it. KO and Sammy. But this was a good match. These guys, yeah.
I hated Logan Paul so much. He got the perfect kind of heat. He was awful and terrible, and I wanted him to go away. And I was like, I hate him as a person, but he's like a perfect heel.
Yeah. Primo, what'd you think, man?
I agree with hating Logan Paul during that. Just him sitting back there like,
right. Yeah.
Or as soon as he. Okay, it's just like it reminded me a lot of Stone Cold. As soon as he touched Kevin Owens, I was like, "Oh, it's game over, bro." Yeah, should have never touched him. And then Kevin's like this.
Yeah,
I was like, "You're done." And by the way, this whole time, I know I told you this before. My brother looks like Kevin Owens. My son's watching this with me. He's like, "What's Uncle Chris doing on TV?" He's like, "Uncle Chris won!"
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah. So, how much money do y'all think they paid Logan Paul to take that stunner?
More than he's worth.
Yeah, more than he deserves for sure.
Yeah.
No.
You notice they kept saying 23 million YouTube subscribers.
And YouTube alone.
YouTube alone. Yeah. All right. So that was awesome, man. Good banger. Those guys are, always. So probably the stiffest match of the weekend. How bad did Sheamus beat up Riddle, man? Good Lord.
He hooped in the face.
I will say, that when he did that springboard moonsault, and then Sheamus timed that broad kick, and it knocked him. Like, you could tell. I mean, he was bleeding.
His lip was fat. Yeah,
his lip was all fat. Yeah, it was great. They definitely beat the snot out of each other for sure.
Cool spot. I haven't seen anybody do that before with the bro kick, but yeah, it was probably the stiffest of the weekend, man. So yeah. We everybody got that right except for AJ. He took Riddle.
Woo!
Yep. So last match was on Friday night. Ziggy and Rude against Street Profits. Ziggy and Rude retained on Friday. Yeah, we talked about them. It should have been on WrestleMania. So that wraps up WrestleMania. They did the Hall of Fame as usual. Brought everybody out. Announced Dallas for next year. So that'll be fun. I hope they stick with 2 nights. So that'll be pretty sweet. So all right. So that'll cover.
Real quick, have you heard the conspiracy yet about the Bray Wyatt match?
No, but about well, I mean, I know we didn't. Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about the black stuff that was coming off of
the black.
So not that. There's actually not rumors. It's fan made rumors. But Bo Dallas was seen leaving the arena, and everybody noticed the Fiend looked a little skinnier than normal. So
it was a fake Fiend.
People, not me, because I think it's kind of silly, but people are saying that it could have been Bo Dallas behind the Fiend mask, and it could be a setup for a future Bray Wyatt versus the Fiend, like your own demon type deal.
Oh yeah.
My favorite kind of nonsense match.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That would be good to watch. I mean, it'd be interesting. I didn't hear that about this time. I did hear the Bo Dallas rumors last time, when he was kind of just standing there, everybody was comparing, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see.
Really quick, what did you guys think of Bayley throughout the entire thing?
Annoying.
She was so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I wanted her to go away.
Yeah, and
be quiet.
I felt like they kept going somewhere with this. I thought maybe somebody was going to come out at the end, some legend woman, maybe Molly Holly or something, and give
I was
her
waiting. Well, I mean, the Bellas came out, but
the Bellas.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But I was waiting for Becky.
Forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Becky. I was waiting for Becky the whole time, and she just teased us.
Yeah. But not this time.
The thing is, I like Bayley, but that was annoying.
Yeah, normally I do too.
Yeah,
she's in character transition kind of right now. Like she's doing the noisy reporter type deal. So, all right, so that's Mania, man. Let's get Primo run down real quick. Raw right after Mania that we watched just 2 nights ago, which is historically one of the better nights of Raw of the week. I don't know about this one this year.
It's historically one of the best Raws of the entire year, but historically this one was not. This one was a letdown. However, we'll go through it. So they opened up the show by showing a clip from earlier in the day of Riddle walking up to Lashley, basically throwing Lashley's own quotes in his face and coaxing him into a match. And he ends up accepting the match finally after Lashley was eventually like, man, I'm here to relax. I'm here to celebrate my championship. Get off me, and then he eventually pests him enough to piss him off, and they come out as the opening match, which Bobby Lashley goes on to destroy Riddle
A
with his
lot.
with his swollen lip from the
Tough
night.
couple days for Riddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was getting beat up. What did he do to everybody?
He says bro too much.
Yeah, it's the silly dubs wearing the pirate hats.
Yeah.
So he got defeated by Lashley via the Hurt Lock. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about that, but what do you think of Drew just passing out instead of tapping out?
Good babyface.
Did the old 316 pass out to the submission instead of?
Yep. It's the way to lose for a babyface. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good way for the babyface to lose.
Moving on, we did have a return, which was Viking Raiders return.
Sure.
Which I don't care, to be honest, but they did return, and they defeated. Which I don't know why Cedric and Shelton are getting this treatment, but they were defeated by the Viking Raiders. I really like the tag team of Cedric and Shelton. So whether or not they're with the Hurt Business,
I don't like the Viking Raiders. Like
they're still wearing the black and gold. Is kind of confusing too.
That part is confusing. They need to get new trunks.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. What was you saying about Viking Raiders, AJ?
What are their names? It's like Igor and like Flip Flop or something.
Igor and Ivar.
Eric and Ivar.
Eric and Ivar. That's right.
Eric and Ivar. Okay.
Yeah. What's up now? You got something against guys named Eric? What?
Stupid Viking Raider Eric. And his partner.
So, not to be outdone, we had a much better return immediately after this, which was the return of the Queen herself, Charlotte Flair.
I thought you were going to say Maurice.
Hey, well, I mean, I like Maurice too. Don't get me wrong.
Back looking like $1 million.
She cuts a promo.
She did.
Just ragging down, everyone for not having her in WrestleMania, and how she named every female wrestler on the card and said that there's not a single one better than she is. She basically said, "Humble Charlotte's gone. The Queen is here. So get ready." Strap in because she's
Charlotte is back, baby.
I know this is best Charlotte, like cocky heel Charlotte.
Yes,
right. Love it.
And that was one of the most exciting things of the entire night.
Yeah.
So right after that, we had a 24 hours removed from their match, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley rematch.
Sure.
Where there was no finish because Charlotte came back out and just destroyed both of them.
Yep.
So looking like $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. She looked great. So we had Alexis Funhouse explaining how the WrestleMania match between The Fiend and Randy Orton ended. Basically, how she purposely caused The Fiend to lose. She kept saying that the darkness saved her, the darkness protected her. The darkness in this situation is The Fiend. And basically at the end says there that she doesn't need the darkness any longer. And she has come into her own, basically.
Yeah, something about why do you need them if you can control everything or something like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, Alexa Bliss is great, but I didn't care.
Yeah, so, I'm just going to take it for what it is and see where it goes.
Yeah. Speaking of Maurice Jet, Miss TV came on next after that with guest host, wife of the Miz, or not guest host, but the guest appearance of Maurice. Yeah. They came on to promote the Miz and Mrs. returning to USA.
Which I haven't watched since middle of season 1, I think.
Right, which I actually I like that show. I enjoy it.
I like the first season. I just didn't like it enough to stay with it.
It's hilarious. I'm a big fan. They get interrupted by Damian Priest.
Yeah.
I want to like him. I like that. I like the Archer gimmick. right now he's just not doing it for me right now.
Yeah. So, Punishment Martinez is what he was in Ring of Honor. You know, he was kind of real big, bad kind of biker dude, a little bit on the, you know, like kind of edge, and that gimmick worked for him really well. So I hope he eventually gets to that. He's being, you know, nice guy right now, and they just brought him up, so he's going to get thrown in the shelter for a while. He'll probably be on main event. We won't see him, and then he'll pop back up. So you know, it might be another Alistair. So hopefully,
right.
Poor Alistair Black.
Yep.
He's yeah. So Damian Priest ends up losing to Miz and Morrison. You know, he had to run his mouth, so he ended up losing.
What's up with Morrison's hair too, Primo? What's the deal
I can't stand that, dude. It's like, and he's got this, and then the mullet.
It's like a Glamour Shots mullet. Like he
it's
and then mulleted it.
Yeah.
Like Escape from LA with what's his name?
Mel Gibson?
Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah.
He does, yeah. Yeah. It's like a poof and slick back.
Yeah.
He needs the big shades from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Like the Bret Hart shades, maybe.
Yeah. What's up with all the chains? Like Johnny Drip Drip with all the chains he had on?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of his gimmick, but the hair needs to. Yeah.
He's been Johnny everything you can think of.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact.
Yep.
Johnny Nitro.
Yep.
So after that, we had the tag champs, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, defeat Mandy, Wardrobe, Malfunction Rose, and Dana Brooke via count out after Nia slips on the apron. And because they were making fun of Mandy's slip during WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And after she slipped.
Sit on her butt, man. That was funny.
Yeah. After she slipped, Mandy and Dana.
Like a cartoon.
Start cutting up, laughing at her, and they immediately saw that she saw red, so they left. They just hightailed it out of there.
Here's the thing. I don't know if y'all noticed, too. The whole thing put Mandy off right off the bat. Okay, so their music hits, right? They walk out, or they're walking out, and and they both put one hand on their hip and they pose, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mandy walks up to do it, and Dana just keeps walking, man. She didn't
she just kept going.
Yeah. So she's like, and then she was like, oh. So they get what and then, so she's like almost looking like she's almost trying to catch up, and then whoop, 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 whoop.
And then it's wet out there because of the rain. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
It was great. And then I saw there's actually a spot on Raw. I didn't mention it, and I actually forgot to put it in my notes where Titus comes up and talks to her because of his fall.
Yeah. Puts arm around.
This is the best one. Like, he went under the rings.
His will never be topped, ever.
No, it won't. No, it
Best
won't.
fall in history.
Fantastic.
So then we had Lashley come out. Finally, he was able to come out and kind of semi-celebrate with MVP, give a solid promo, talking about how they gave MVP did anyway, gave Drew his props.
AJ got a Street Profits Cup.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got Well, you want the smoke? Anyway, so what eventually happens is the classic. I want a title match. No, I get a title match. No, I deserve a title match. So that happens with Braun, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. They all three come out. Pierce says, "Easy." Triple threat in the main event. Winner gets to go to Backlash and face Lashley. That was in the middle of the show. Afterwards, right after that, we had New Day coming out and defeating Elias and Jackson Riker. They mentioned how they lost the titles, but it was like New Day was still in their same form as usual. Like they weren't pissed or anything. There was happy-go-lucky New Day still.
Yeah, just New Day being New Day.
Yeah. After that, we had Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt's edition, where
we're so glad that you're our friend.
He's talking to all of the stuffed animal or the puppets, and basically like, we're gonna be fine, guys. It's okay. We're gonna be fine. No worries. Like, don't worry about us. We'll be okay. Type deal. And that's basically all that was. After that was the main event that we just spoke about. Drew McIntyre wins the triple threat match to go on. He's going to face Bobby Lashley. They're going to have the Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre number 2 for the title.
Yeah, I think Bobby wins this one. Some kind of interference or something. Drew probably gets a new feud, I think, after this. I mean, it's like, why give it to Drew now if you didn't give it to him at WrestleMania? Why do it at Backlash?
And something I didn't say earlier about that match is that I think they're really trying to go with the Almighty thing. Like, he's unbeatable, almost. The Hurt Lock, if you get stuck in the Hurt Lock, you're screwed. So, after the match, though, MVP comes out to his music. It wasn't ballin'. Where he comes out the TikTok. Yeah. So it was the one he produced. I'm coming. So, which I was like, wait a minute, is that MVP's music? So I popped a little bit for that. Yeah. But then he just stands there on the stage, and Drew's like, "What's up?" And then from behind comes Mason T-Bar from
the baddest guys on Raw.
And I'm just like, I was like, wait, what? And just make it Dio Madden and Dijakovic already. Yeah.
Looks like they're going to keep the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome mask for now.
Somebody said, I don't remember I heard this, but they were like, so are they going to come out next week with suits on, but with the mask still on?
I hope so, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how Raw ended.
So that's how Raw ended. All right, so we got one more to cover here real fast. Primo's going to get us through NXT, and then we're going to hop through the rest of what we got going on here tonight. So, all right, let's briefly talk about what happened last night on NXT here.
All right, let's real quick go through this. Carrie comes out, talks Finn Balor, gives Finn his props, says he's the baddest dude ever that in NXT, gives him all the props in the world. But then it says he's in charge now, and he will be in command of NXT until he says so. And he says he is going to fold everybody until there is no one left on the roster. That ends that. Next up, we get MSK defeating Killian, Dane, and Drake Maverick. Their entrance music is so dumb.
Killian Dane?
So stupid.
Yeah, they haven't touched on it in a while, but they were kind of making out as a joke earlier. It's been a while.
MSK retains the championship. Afterwards, Killian gets attacked by Imperium, which don't know why. They didn't really explain it at all, but we'll see in the future.
Yeah.
Videos shown afterwards of Cole and O'Reilly's match, like highlights of the match, and then they go on to show them getting hauled away in the ambulance. And as they're entering the ambulance bay, they show Adam Cole still screaming obscenities, how he's gonna end O'Reilly. Basically, still on fire about this. So we'll see. You can see. So I thought it was going to be over, but I guess it's not going to be over. After that, so last week or 2 weeks ago, Rob Stone had rehired Mercedes Martinez to do some of his dirty work, and she said that she was going to collect her money whenever she was done. Well, this was part of that, and Jessie Kamea got in her face about it. They end up having a match. Mercedes Martinez defeats Jessie Kamea, but then so Robert Stone tries to hightail out of there. She gets a hold of him, slams him against the wall, and just like debows him for his money.
Yep.
And then, which that's intimidating, man. She's a big chick.
For sure.
And then she goes over to the announcer table and calls out Raquel Gonzalez. So that'll be interesting. Afterwards, we get the Emperor of the Cruiserweight division comes out. And he says, he talks about lineage and talks about He unified the Cruiserweight Championship, and how his father held it. He's holding the championship now, and his son will one day hold it, and he's issuing an open challenge. Out comes Time Splitter himself, Kushida, for the open challenge, and new Cruiserweight champion. So Kushida's the new Cruiserweight champion. I'm not sure.
Triple H loves him some Kushida.
Yes, he does.
That's what this is, man. He loves Kushida.
I really
walked on the pay-per-view. Yeah, me too, man. He should have held that for a little while longer, but
King Cuerno.
Yeah.
Well, do you think they bring Escobar up now to the main
with
roster,
this faction?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I would.
Since they lost Andrade.
Yeah.
Since there's no more Andrade.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good idea, though. I
did see. It was a little bit after that Kushida was in the back, just getting checked up with the doctor, and Regal's congratulating him, and out comes Jordan Devlin, saying, "What's funny is he said, 'Good job, congratulations on beating Escobar.' He called himself the true championship, but who'd he ever beat?" And he's like, do you really call yourself a champion just by climbing up a ladder?
Yeah, but climbing up the ladder faster than me. He's like, oh, we all know best wrestlers wrestle.
Basically, he made it known that he's got to go back overseas, and it's going to be a while before he gets back. But when he does, that he is on Kushida's going to be on his radar.
Yeah, keep that thing warm for me. I'm coming back.
Right. So then we get what was it? It was last week or 2 weeks ago that they showed the clip of Tommaso and Timothy Thatcher backstage talking.
Yeah,
they did a follow-up on this.
There, I think.
Yeah, they followed up on this. Tommaso basically said that Walter and Imperium showed them that they needed to get to their true form, and anyway, they ended up calling out MSK and said they're coming for him. So they're going after a tag team run now.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
The coolest part of the night was this coming up. Raquel Gonzalez comes out for her celebration, for her victory celebration from Take Stand Deliver. However, that little, I don't know what kind of dog that is, but the little dog we've been seeing, Frankie Monet finally debuts.
Yep. Taya Valkyrie. Right. Johnny Drip Drip's wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Drip Drip.
I bet he don't wear that hairstyle at home. I like this, man.
He's stuck on the hairstyle.
Yeah, it's going to take me a minute to not call her Taya because she's been Taya forever, but she's bringing her nickname over, Wera Loca, so she's going to be Wera Loca, Frankie Monet. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. She's a good wrestler. She's, not so much flippy. She's more, she's a little more technical, a little more brute style. Yeah, she was the Impact Women's Champion for a long time. So, so she's going to do some stuff there, and they're already kind of putting her in the mix with Raquel. So, yeah, that'd be fun.
She came right out and introduced herself for the champ. Not a whole lot was said. Just basically, I'm here, and you're in my division, is what she said. Shortly after that, This Is My Brutality hits. Rhea Ripley comes out. They had some, before Rhea left, they had some beef. So everybody was like, what's going to go on here? But they were also friends. And so Rhea gets in. They clink championships, hug it out. And right after that, out comes Bianca Belair. So now you have all three women's champions standing in the ring. They show the picture on the Tron of the three of them as, NXT superstars. So it was a cool moment for them, cool moment for NXT.
Yep.
They all celebrated there.
Yep.
After that, we moved.
Spot a lot.
Yeah, me too. That was probably my favorite spot of the night. We had backstage. 2 weeks ago, Roderick Strong said he was done. This time, backstage, you see Roderick Strong handing Regal some papers. Looked like it could have been resignations papers. Regal says, "Are you sure?" He says, "Yeah, I'm done." And that was all that happened there. We'll see where that goes. Isaiah Swerve Scott defeats Leon Ruff the day before his birthday, and that was it was a spot fest. It was a good match. Main event was Dexter Lumis, Bronson Reed, Ember, and Shotzi versus The Way.
Yep. Interesting how this one shook out, man, with the whole Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
Like she's wanting Dexter to take her. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Dexter had Johnny in his hold, and Indy she just flops on the ground. So Dexter will see her, and then he sees her, and then I don't remember. I think Austin tried to get in there, and Indy knocked him back out of the ring, and then she flops back on the ground and plays dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, come here, damsel. I'm gonna kidnap you." So he grabs her, walks back to the back, and as they're walking on the back, she looks at the camera, gives a thumbs up.
Yeah. So this is either a plan for The Way, or or this is her joining up with Dexter. So yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Bronson, Ember, and Shotzi ended up defeating the rest of The Way. So that was how NXT first Tuesday night ended.
All right. So it was quite a lot of wrestling to cover there over the weekend. So now we can kind of get into the rest of the show here. So before we get started here, we're going to do Pick Primo's Brain, but I'm going to take about a minute and a half little break here real quick. So we're going to take a small little break, and we'll come right back and do Pick Primo's Brain. We'll be right back, guys. Wait for AJ to sit down here, and we'll. Yeah, well, we had a lot to talk about, so it's like I'm not going to make it to the end of the show. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ziggy, man. He never did hear anything else from him. Okay. All right, so here we are back live. Okay, now we've entered that part of. Why do I hear an echo all of a sudden?
I'm still hearing it.
You still hearing it? Yeah, it's weird. You hear it, AJ?
He's quiet. He's muted. There he goes.
Is it off now?
Yeah, there you go.
It was me.
It was you. All right. It was me.
I fooled you.
It's me, Austin.
All right. Yeah, it was me, Austin. All right, Primo, I'm picking your brain today, man. What was the first WrestleMania you remember sitting down and getting excited? Like, oh, it's WrestleMania Sunday. The very first one you remember getting excited for that you were going to sit down and watch.
Okay, so This isn't because of my age, but it's because it's the first one my mom actually bought for me on pay-per-view. I begged her. All the other ones I had seen after the fact because we had to go to Blockbuster and I would rent it. This was the first one that I saw live, and that was WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 20, Return of the Dead Man. After Kane had buried him alive at Survivor Series. What else happened there? Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Benoit won.
Yeah, I mean it was because it was the very first one that I got to see live in completion, like as everybody else got to watch it. Yeah, I was a teenager, but like I said, all the other ones I had to watch after the fact because from the video store. So, so that's the one I was most excited for first.
Nice. All right, guys, let's talk about our favorite Mania matches from this year. AJ, why don't you go first, man? What was your favorite match from this year?
Cesaro and Rollins.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, it wasn't technically the best match that was on the card or even of the night, because I think the best match of the night was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, but it was my favorite one just because, again, Cesaro got his Mania win, and for some reason I shouldn't like Seth Rollins. I think he works better as a heel than he does a face.
Me too.
He's a terrible face. And he's like, and every time he does the buckle bomb, I cringe. I hate that move. That's my most hated move in wrestling right now.
They banned it for a while. Now they're just, it's like they're letting them do it again.
Why? I mean, that's what ruined Sting.
Right. Yeah. It ruined Samoa Joe. It ruined Balor.
There's
a lot of guys have been hurt from that.
But I still love Seth Rollins in ring, and Cesaro is one of my favorites. So that was my favorite match of the entire week, I'll say.
Yeah. Primo?
I would say the main event, triple threat, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge, only because we were for sure it was going to be Edge. They swerved us, and it was a good match.
Yeah,
like it was. The double submission, the crossface, lock on Roman with the bar.
Yeah.
Where you could see Roman tapping out, but nobody else sees it. Where he stacked the bodies.
Yeah,
Jey Uso came out, after he'd already been taken out earlier in the match by Edge. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I like that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bianca and Sasha. It felt like the match with the biggest hype to me. They were going to crown Bianca. Sasha. You knew it was going to be an excellent match. These girls went for it. I feel like they touched my emotions up and down throughout the match, especially in the beginning. They're standing there. Bianca looks like she's about to cry. Yeah, she's about to cry. Sasha's looking like, we're about to do this. It's going to be on. And then it's like Bianca flips. She's like, okay. All right.
Yeah. I feel like there was a certain point in that where Sasha's like, come on, girl, we got to get this.
Yeah, I wish they would have went a little longer. I would have liked to see them go, a little longer. But it was great, man. They did awesome. I was glad they got the headline one night. So,
how long did they end up going, anyways?
I will tell you that shortly. When we get to Mania picks. Yep.
So I'm assuming we're all close to the
it has to be
time limit.
We will talk about that shortly, boys. Drama ensues. All right, so those are our matches. I'm gonna say this, man. We're talking about outdoor manias. I've never been a fan of the outdoor shows. Yes, it worked great for this. For COVID reasons, and they can always get a lot of fans in stands there. But I've never been a fan of outdoor manias. I always feel like it kind of takes away from it a little bit. I like the indoor shows. The no threat of weather. So I don't know. I hope they kind of learned their lesson. They did it at MetLife a couple years ago. And New York weather can be whatever, at around the 1st of April. So I don't know. I just kind of want to see what you guys thought about, having Mania outdoors.
The
It's
only
always
Mania,
a warm weather climate, so
the only
Yeah.
Mania that I liked outdoors was the I can't even remember which one it was, but it was the one that opened with the IC ladder match when Daniel Bryan won, and later on in the night, it was the Brock and Roman main event. I think it's WrestleMania 30, maybe.
was that when
Where
was that
Seth
San
Rollins
Francisco?
cashed in.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I liked it outdoors then just because it was a giant crowd. I mean, it lost like the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt match, which happened that night. Taker's entrance loses everything if it's in daytime.
Right. Yeah.
It just seems silly.
Yeah.
So
a lot of that card was under daylight till the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I like it to begin with, but then at the end, I was like, okay, I wish this was at.
Is that the one? Is that the one where with the RKO curb stomp spot?
Yes.
Yeah.
The best RKO of all time.
Yeah.
Because Randy and Seth wrestled earlier in the night, and
because it was daytime. Yeah.
Didn't they call it the pop-up RKO or something?
Pop-up RKO.
Yeah.
And then, So either. I mean, I do like it outdoors, but I think it works better indoors.
Yeah, me too.
So I never had a problem with it until this year, whenever I realized that it was real life and not some fantasy that I watch on TV. And so before I never paid attention to the fact. I knew it was outdoors, but to me, it's this is wrestling. To me, this is it's going to go perfect.
Yeah.
This is the first time this happened, right. So we're just it's the real world. And
you don't expect them to come on in WrestleMania and go, we're currently under a weather delay.
Yeah, exactly. Now we got a NASCAR race here. Rain
what
delay.
A pickup and letdown,
You got Samoa Joe and Michael Cole getting freaking drenched.
Yeah.
I overall it doesn't bother me outdoor events. I like the indoor events, but like I said, I never really paid attention. Mm-hmm. Besides the fact just knowing it was an outdoor event, never really dawned on me until this one. There's oh well, I guess they are into the same weather stuff that we got to deal with. They it doesn't just magically avoid them.
Right? So, yeah. So we'll see what they do next year. It's in Dallas. They can open up the roof there. Mm-hmm. So they can kind of seem like an outdoor. So. I'm looking forward to that one. Last time, the only time I went to Mania was there. So, but pay-per-views coming up. I know WrestleMania Backlash is the next one.
Why do that annoys me?
Call it Backlash.
Exactly. Just call it Backlash. Yeah. You don't have to call everything WrestleMania this and WrestleMania that.
Right.
We get it.
Yeah, they're trying to draw more interest, so by putting WrestleMania on it. But
that one's coming up. WrestleMania.
Yeah, what's the date on that? Does anybody know?
May 16th.
Oh, okay, so
maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, end of this month is the Rebellion pay-per-view with AEW and Impact together. Yeah. So. We got Charlotte back. When's Becky coming, boys?
Friday.
Ooh, yes, soon, very soon.
SmackDown.
I feel like she teased it like she was coming this past weekend. So I mean, I feel like it's got to be.
That's for us marks to fall for and be like, "God, you showed up at night one."
I was like, oh, did you see the letters? Did you see how they lined up? Yeah.
Those same people making those are the same people that's saying it's Bo Dallas.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff, man. All right, so we got that coming up. Ring of Honor don't have any pay-per-views coming up that I know of. AEW is Blood and Guts.
Guts.
Yeah, I think that's middle of May, I think, too, or maybe end of May. So, yeah, I mean, they don't do them as prominent as WWE does. So, but next up, I want to talk about my wrestler spotlight of this week. I'm kind of going to go a different way on this one. I usually been talking about somebody that's kind of hot right now, but I'm going to talk about somebody that I think might end up being a super slow burn along the way if AEW puts their chips on him. So we'll talk about Jungle Boy. Right now he's still very green, still learning, but doing very well. I think it's great they got him in the Jurassic Express. They're all doing, awesome, except for Marco Stunt. I could do without him. But, putting him with, what's the big reptile guy?
Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus, yeah.
Yeah. He was on Big Brother years ago. That's all I always think of too. But
Luchasaurus.
yeah, he was on Big Brother as a contestant, not as Luchasaurus, but he was on there. But Jungle Boy, man, I can see them putting like a really slow burn on him for a long time because I'm looking at him. He's going to need to beef up. He's not that big, but he could be an Adam Cole type. With kind of like his size, and he's got the look. Everybody knows who his daddy is, so he's got celebrity pop there already. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was just kind of looking at him the other night, and I was thinking, man, if they kind of slowly started, I'm not saying in the next year or so.
He still looks like such a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He looks like Mowgli.
Yeah, he's baby face, but in the original way. Not like. Not like a white meat baby face, but yeah. So I don't know. It's just a guy that I thought maybe on down the line would, could possibly be a guy to prime up. So let's, on down the road, if it happens, I'll be like, I told you so. But
I did not know that Luke Perry was his father.
Yeah,
they look a lot alike.
Wikipedia just told me so.
Oh yeah.
No clue.
Yeah, and I think he died not long after he signed with AEW. So. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
wow. So
let's maybe keep an eye on him, man. See what happens. It's kind of one of those guys. I kind of feel like they got tucked back away for later on because the women would love him, the girls already do. If he's good in the ring, the guys will like him. And that's the Cena formula right there.
Yeah.
So, it is. But, all right, so, guys, I want to talk to you guys about my random wrestling story with Mick Foley. If you guys tuned in last week, I'm not going to be able to do that due to technical issues.
I'm so disappointed.
Next week, as long as everything is back up and running. It's not on my end. It's on my broadcast or the software that I use to broadcast. So they're having a little trouble right now. But anyway, I'll tuck it back, save it for later. And we'll circle back around to that. So, right now, man, let's thank our sponsors, Rowdy Energy. I'm drinking a little chiseled ice tonight, man. What you guys got? Oh, a little double sour apple action.
Yeah,
look at that. Very cool. Thank you to Coastland. Check those guys out. www.coastlandapparel.com. Make sure you guys check those guys out. Use the promo code BirdTV for 15% off. They just dropped a bunch of new stuff, man, so go check that out. Yeah. Got the hat here. Not rocking the shirt today, so I'm just doing the Rowdy shirt today they sent me. Appreciate it, guys. So now, let's get to the fun part of the show. Big drama I've been talking about. So we did. Let me show you here real fast. There's our matches that we all got to pick from. 21 matches. We all got to pick who was going to win each match. So I'm going to just say that it ended up being very, very close between everybody that's here today. Ziggy did not win. I'll talk about him in just a second. But so I wanted to come up with a trophy, right? For so we're going to put this trophy up. Whoever wins this thing tonight has to put it up at each Big Four pay-per-view. So next time it had to be is
SummerSlam
right here.
SummerSlam. It'll be the next one. So whoever wins, we'll put that up. We'll do the picks again for SummerSlam. If they retain, they get to keep the trophy. If they lose, they have to ship it to the winner. So that's the deal.
Fair enough.
All right. So in looking for a trophy, I scoured the land far and wide, I ran up on some things, that I thought would be good, but I thought the first time I see something that reminds me of wrestling, that's what I'm going to choose. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the official trophy of Sit Down Marks. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kurt Angle.
That's awesome. That's cool. It's like a slammy.
That is what you covet, boys, right there. The Kurt Angle.
That's amazing.
Sit Down Marks, pay-per-view champ right there.
That's so cool.
It's an America trophy.
Is that not great or what, right?
That is amazing. I love it.
All right, so let's talk about who won this deck, I think. So there it is, yep. One of us three are going to bring that thing home. All right, so as you guys know, the last few days, I've texted both of you to make sure your picks matched my picks. I went back to make sure I recorded them all right. Anything I could have done, I did. The only thing I faulted was I meant to send one of you guys my picks. But being an honest guy, I'll show you everything how it went down. So let's talk about this. Here we go. Finishing in fourth place, we just talked about it. Not bringing the trophy home. For whatever reason, when a trophy is involved, Ziggy doesn't come to the plate very well. He's a great booker, man, but so he's going to finish in fourth place with 10 wins.
Uh-oh.
So he got 10 out of 21, so good run there for Ziggy. All right, so that leaves us three here.
That doesn't give me any hopes.
I know, right?
All right, here we go. So Ziggy had 10. Coming in third with 12, AJ. AJ's third.
Come on!
AJ comes in third place.
Oh, man.
With 12.
Third place. Get out of here with your third place. I'm stealing the Kurt Angle.
All right, so it comes down to me and Primo. Here's where the big-time drama unfolds, my friend. You got 13 right. I got 13 right.
Oh, wow.
So, came down to our tiebreaker. Let me talk about your 13 real fast here before we start.
Okay.
I'm going to just talk about the ones that you missed. Let's talk about that. You didn't get EO. You didn't get GYV.
Right.
You didn't get Adam Cole. You didn't get McIntyre, Rollins, New Day, Edge, Asuka. But you got the last 5 right to end the night.
And I almost aced night 2 of NXT.
You almost aced night 2 of NXT. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about the ones I missed. A little different. I missed El Legado. I missed Jordan Devlin. I missed The Way, McIntyre, New Day, Edge. I did great at the end of the night, but I didn't get Big E or Street Profits that you got. So anyway, so we ended up with 13 apiece. Okay? All right. Okay. The difference in the time between me and you, we'll double check it again, was 1 minute and 2 seconds.
No way, dude.
For both of you?
1 minute and 2 seconds between the time that he picked and the time that I picked. Okay, let me talk about this. You guys remember I said 2 of us went early, 2 of us went late, right?
Yep.
All right, well, the 2 that went early was AJ and Ziggy. AJ went 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Ziggy went 13 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay. My official time of the match was 17 minutes, 17 seconds. Now, as soon as that bell hit, I hit the timer. But just to make sure, I want to make sure I was technically right because this was so close. I went and checked the official time. It was 17 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So, with that being said, my time was 23 minutes and 49 seconds. Primo was 22 minutes, 47 seconds. Primo's your winner. He wins the Kurt Angle. off of a tiebreaker.
Yes.
Boo.
Boo this man.
Thank
Boo
you.
this man.
Thank you.
Boo earned.
So Primo's the winner. He's the first official Kurt Angle champ, sir.
That is awesome.
I'm going to send that to you on Friday. So
That's
that'll be on your way, brother. Congratulations.
Awesome.
You're
Thank
the first
you.
winner of the Kurt Angle. I want this displayed proudly somewhere
Absolutely.
when you do the show so we can see it. So
it needs like its own little pedestal.
It's going to sit right beside me, yeah.
yeah. So
Every time it's like a guy that wins a Slammy. He always comes to the ring with it. Yeah.
Carrying it, yeah. So that's how close it was, man. That's why I double checked with you guys. I'm like, make sure y'all got the same number I got because it was just that close.
That is amazing.
And then it come down to me, and so I'm watching the Belair Sasha match. I'm watching my stopwatch, and I'm like, go! The over. Like, take it.
Yeah.
So that was fun to watch, man. But congratulations, Primo.
Thanks, guys.
I will send Kurt to you, my friend.
Good job to everybody else, too. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
And it also made all of this past week more fun, too. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. So, all right. So we'll bring AJ back we'll bring him back before, but we'll make sure he's back for SummerSlam to get a shot at the Kurt Angle here.
I need a shot.
I'll put it on the line for y'all's rematch.
Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. So that's our winner, man. Any of you guys right now has your favorite champ changed after this weekend? Anybody?
Yes.
Still Roman.
Okay, Primo. What do you got?
Last week I said Darby Allin. This week, after WrestleMania, Roman Reigns. I finally changed.
Ooh, okay.
I finally changed. I'm on board now.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna stick with Omega. I didn't see any Mania champs that really would make me like, that's my favorite. You know,
the way he won, and it tells me that they're not done with this head of the table thing.
Sure.
And I like it, so I'm all in. One day, when's Jimmy coming back?
Yeah, I don't know.
He was pretty injured, right? Like, I think it's still going to be a couple of months, I want to say.
Yeah.
I'd like to see both of them there.
Mm-hmm.
You have that whole Samoan dynasty type deal.
Yeah, kind of make the family complete somewhat. Yeah, so.
Plus, who could even take it off of Roman right now? Like, what babyface could viably chase and beat Roman?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's time for the Cesaro push, man. You know,
yes. I'm writing them a letter.
That would be nice. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I mean, Braun maybe on SmackDown, but
Biggie.
You got to think that here pretty soon after Backlash, they'll probably do the Superstar Shakeup.
Yeah, Yep, probably so. All right, well, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's where we talk about what we love about wrestling right now, what we don't like. I'll go first. What I like about it now, Mania was fun. It was a great weekend of wrestling. You know, it was wrestling overload, trying to get caught up with everything, too. And I kind of love, I love this kind of year. I love this time of year. Monday, I always call Wrestling New Year, the Monday after Raw.
Right. It's a new season,
Yeah, it's new season, so it's Wrestling New Year. I think 2022 Mania is going to be super massive in Dallas. Looking forward to that.
I can't wait.
I'm thumbs down still on the letdown of having fans at Mania, and then we go to Raw, and and I know it's still and we're back to the Thunderdome with no fans. So that's I'm still thumbs down on that. So AJ, what about you?
So thumbs up right now. The women's division on the main card is stacked top to bottom. I mean, minus like Lana, who's go away, Lana, or Tamina, who's go away. But like apart from that, I think the women's division is really strong. Plus, you have Charlotte back, you have Becky coming back. So I'm looking forward to what they do in that division. Thumbs down, Shinsuke Nakamura. Like I wish they would do something with him. It makes me so angry that they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. He got thrown out like last or something like that.
Yeah, it was him and Jay. Yeah,
the way that his main card run has been just atrocious and
abysmal.
It really has been. He's one of the best in the world, and he can't even get like a mid card win. Like, so it makes me sad. So Shinsuke is my big thumbs down.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think, Remo?
So thumbs up for me is, as of this moment, we have wrestling every night of the week, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty awesome, you know. So thumbs down for me is just how the Smack, and I like Ziggler and Rude. It's how that tag team championship is kind of an afterthought right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they should do it like the women's at this point. Just have one tag champ and just let them.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
like back in the day, they used to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remember they used to have Raw and SmackDown champs, or they used to have World Tag Team Champions and WWE Tag Team Champions, and then they unified them, and then they did this again. So came out with the penny championship, and
I mean, if nothing else, do like the old NWA used to do. Have a World Tag Team Champion and then have like a United States Tag Team Champion. Yeah. You know, and that way there's, you know, there's like a world title and then like an IC title.
Yeah, it's a divide. Yeah.
Yeah, divide. Yeah. So, you know, everybody kind of goes around. So,
you know what I think?
That's a very good point, though.
I, bringing this up, and maybe we should bring it up another show, but I've never liked the Universal title. I don't like that it's equivalent to the WWE Championship, because to me it's not.
I don't either. Nope.
But they make it out like it's the greater one.
But it's not.
No.
I know. But I know. In their eyes, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one night. So,
yeah.
For sure. All right. So that's our thumbs up, thumbs down. So let's talk about next week's show. We got our main topic is going to be our 5 favorite factions of all time. So one of mine and Primo's friends, Tyler, will be joining us. Also, too, I want to talk about, just got this in the mail today, the new PWI magazine.
Nice.
Check out the EST.
EST. Nice little.
Nice
I like
little
it.
touch there, ain't it? Yeah.
Right out of her braids.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
just got that today. Shotzi, talk about Gresham. And here too at the top, a little different, little spotlight on the indies. So that should be
that's pretty awesome.
Should be a good one. Yeah. So that one came in the mail. Primo, I'm going to send my last edition with your trophy as a little thank you, sir.
All right, thank
you. And also to AJ, sometime this weekend, I'm gonna for being on the show, man. I'm gonna bring you a couple stickers. One courtesy of Primo here. One of his stickers I'm going to bring to you, and I'm going to bring you some Rowdy, courtesy of Rowdy.
You're going to be like this in the room, was pointing at all your stickers.
And next week, I will see you guys right over here in the chat section.
In the chat, yeah.
Wait, no, I pointed the wrong way. Why did I go backwards? This way.
Yeah, but I'm going to just tell you from now on, stay loose and stay free on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, I got it. Nothing going on, and next week I will see you guys right over there in the chat.
All right,
yes, so it was great having you on, man.
Yep, yeah, we had a lot of fun with
AJ. Very much.
Absolutely, man. We're going to have AJ on a lot here with us. We're definitely going to have him on for our pre and post Big Four pay-per-views, and then sporadically, you know, whenever he can. So we'll have him on as much as possible. Love you having you here, AJ. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
absolutely.
Guys.
Absolutely. So let's talk about SummerSlam's your next shot. So let's talk about next week real quick. We're going to talk about the A&E WWE series that starts on Sunday. It's an 8-part biography series. The first one's Stone Cold Steve Austin this weekend, so that'll be fun to watch. We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about current wrestling, of course. Dark Side of the Ring, I think, is starting up here soon. May 6th. Thank you, Primo. So new version season of that coming out, so that'll be fun to watch. So last of all, man, thank you to the sponsors, Coastland Apparel, for taking care of us. Use the promo code for your hats, your shirts. Rowdy Energy for keeping us hydrated. Thank you guys, we appreciate it. Make sure you guys all go get your Bad Bunny concert tickets. We'll see you there. And pick a city on one of those on the tour schedule they've been showing everybody, and I'll meet all you guys there. So,
Yeah. All of our sit down Marks fans.
Yeah. So, all right, man. So that's it for episode 5. We covered a ton of wrestling today. Thank you guys all for being there. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Primo takes the Kurt Angle. Sit down, Marks pay-per-view champ. Thank you to AJ. Appreciate you guys. Happy wrestling. Happy Mania. We made it through. So looking forward to see what our Wrestling New Year brings to us. So see you guys all next time, man. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye-bye.